it sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup. Time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. On the return, it's Washington. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Carry for Giovanni Bernard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Dalton here from the gun. And Eifert has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
second down. Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Wells. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Mayfield to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carlos Dunlap in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Third and long for Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Fourth down, Mayfield. And he's going to go down again. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play? Or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz. And in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that fourth down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's second down. Dalton looking. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
To throw on third down, Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Second down, Mayfield. And he's caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their...
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And again, it's Mayfield. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On second down, here's Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Mixon, and they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain. But that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Dalton, he drops it off for Bernard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
They go play action here on 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Dalton throwing on second down. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And it'll be Dalton again. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Eric Kendricks. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken around the 12. He juked him. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. An NFL update there in the second quarter in Baltimore. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back to Mixon on first down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this down deep into Cincinnati territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the red zone now, Mayfield. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Mayfield now. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final act of the first half. Dalton into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. Gonzalez good on the extra point. We have hit halftime still. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker? And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Carl Nassib in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Caught. Eifert over the middle. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. Look, there he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Jordan Willis in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Buying time to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
From the gun, Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Carl Nassib in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction.
The pressure gets to him again. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to rifle one deep. It got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Screen play, Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Washington. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Boyd. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And
all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Dalton to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense, maybe.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Washington. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They toss to Mixon. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. To throw, Mayfield, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
On the return, it's Washington. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know, you just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move.
Michael Crabtree's gonna go, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Michael Crabtree, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fast. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fast. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. Yeah.